bill and to vote to send money from Floridians to New York, New Jersey, Illinois, and California. Yeah, I understand if you're in those states, you would want to do that, but why you would want to do that here, I don't know. So we're very disappointed to see what's going on. And I think when people dig through this bill, look, I'm a recovering congressman for 6 years. I've been there, done that. No one read this, and there's going to be so much nonsense that's ferreted out of that. You don't have a lot of scrutiny up in Washington on that because you basically have, I mean, it's effectively state-run media at this point. They don't care. They don't want to embarrass the administration, but it's bad juju what's going on up there. On a happier note, I'm happy to announce a major expansion of our partnership with CVS Pharmacy to increase the number of their stores that offer the COVID-19 vaccinations. So beginning Thursday, eligible Floridians will be able to make appointments at an additional 76 CVS pharmacies. So CVS will have over 150 stores throughout the state across 30 different counties, and 7 of the new CVSs will be right here in Lee County. We're going to have 1350 Lee Boulevard, Lehigh Acres, of course, 11300 State Road 82 in Fort Myers, 16950 Pine Ridge Road in Fort Myers, 15550 San Carlos Boulevard in Fort Myers, 737 Cape Coral Parkway East in Cape Coral, 11241 Miramar Square Boulevard in Estero, and then Palm Beach Boulevard in Fort Myers as well. We also have 69 other stores in addition to Lee County. That includes Alachua, Broward, Charlotte, Collier, Columbia, Duval, Escambia, Gulf, Hamilton, Hernando, Hillsborough, Leon, Marion, Miami-Dade, Orange, Osceola, Pasco, Pinellas, 13 CVSs in Pinellas, Polk, Putnam, Seminole, St. John's, and Volusia County. And so this was something that we were really happy to be able to do. As you remember, CVS initially and Walgreens were doing long-term care facilities. So that was a mission that took a little bit of time. As we got into February, wanted to figure out a way to expand our retail footprint throughout the state of Florida. We had a lot of Publix pharmacies. We didn't have as much in Miami-Dade and Broward County. So we asked CVS, what could you do in Dade County? And we put in just a few weeks ago 31 Navarro discount pharmacies, as well as 36 CVS EMOS pharmacies. That's all under the CVS umbrella. And I can tell you what's happened in Dade County is you've seen massive increase. They've got data, it's like 55% of their seniors. They're getting close to 300,000 seniors in Dade that have had at least one shot. And Dade, not one that Dade was doing bad. They got a good healthcare system there. They got a lot of good stuff. But I really see the increase with CVS because it's in all these communities, and they can do, depending on how they set it up, either 100 to 200 shots in a given day at each store. So you put 30, 40, 50, 60 in a county, that makes a huge difference. And so we really appreciate what CVS has done in South Florida. They have done some throughout the rest of the state. This one, I think, is really going to help here in Southwest Florida, Pinellas, some of these other places, Central Florida that are also getting the expansion. So what's going to happen is Thursday morning, appointments will be available online. The shots will start on Friday. So if you want to make an appointment, you can visit cvs.com, and there'll be a place on the website where you click about COVID vaccine. But these appointments for these new stores are going to open on Thursday morning. So just be ready to do that. And you can make an appointment and come in and get a shot as early as Friday. So we're really excited about that. We're also excited about a lot of the progress that we've seen. We're going to hit this week the 3 millionth senior that has had a shot. It may not fully be reported yet by the end of the week because the reporting lags on this by between 3 and 5 days. But if you look, we're almost at 2.7 million reported shots for seniors, initial shots. And so there's no question that we'll be well over 3 million. That's a huge undertaking. It's been a very successful effort. We'll have over 60% of the seniors in Florida will have received a shot. Some of the counties we have are over 75%, like St. John's. We got a number of counties that are 2/3 of the seniors, like Palm Beach County, Alachua, Leon County. Lee County is over a majority now. They had been in the 20s just a few weeks ago. You have over a majority of seniors in Lee County that have gotten at least one vaccine shot. And Collier's even better. Collier's in the 60%. So we want to continue, and we've improved Charlotte too. We had to go do some senior pods down there. We had to expand the retail footprint in Charlotte, but I think they're hitting 50% right about now, and we think that they're going to be able to continue to go forward. So that's really, really good news. I think when you're looking at who's put seniors first, Florida's at the top of that list. We have the highest percentage of all of our doses have gone to senior citizens than any other state. We also are one of the tops for the number of seniors that have been vaccinated, as well as the percentage of our seniors that have been vaccinated. And we're going to keep going forward. And because we've had success, we're going to be able on Monday to open it up to 60 plus, which will be really, really good, because we're starting to see around the state softening of the demand among 65 and up, because millions of them have gotten the shot. So those who are still trying to get the initial dose, if you log on to some of these sites, like the pharmacy sites, it doesn't, when we first started this, it'd be like in 5 minutes, there'd be thousands of these things just gone immediately. Well, now the window will be open. There are some times available. It's a lot easier. And part of that is just because we vaccinated a critical mass of seniors. So we're going to continue, obviously, with seniors this week and then into the future. Nothing changes there. But we believe, because of the softening of the demand, that 60 to 64 group, to be able to open it up from them, particularly as we're expanding the retail pharmacy footprint and some of the other things we're doing, we think that's going to make a lot of sense. And we think that that'll be really, really good. And I know a lot of folks have been asking along the way, hey, I'm 61. When am I going to go? And I always said, you will. That'll be next. We just got to make sure that we're making the progress with the seniors. And so I think it's a good time to be able to make that addition on Monday. And I think a lot of people will be really, really happy for it. We're also, if you look at the footprint now throughout the state of Florida, well, one, Lee County, we've got over almost 120,000 seniors in Lee County have received the shot. That's over half of the seniors. And we think we're going at a good clip. This is really going to help. You're going to see CVS just in the stores here. They're going to do thousands of additional seniors a week, which is really, really good. But if you look at now the retail footprint throughout Florida, there's 157 CVSs that starting Friday will be offering shots. You're going to have 730 Publix pharmacies offering shots. 12 Walgreens, although we're going to announce an expansion of Walgreens soon too, we hope. 119 Walmart and Sam's Club, and 43 Winn-Dixies. And so that is the vast majority of counties in Florida are represented here. Some of these counties have stores on almost every block. So it's really, really exciting to be able to see that. So in Lee County, we have, proud of the retail footprint here now, 6 CVS pharmacies, 32 Publix pharmacies, and 2 Walmart pharmacies that are offering the vaccine. We actually, when we got out of the airport, we were a few minutes early. I just walked into a Publix, said how it's going. People are doing well. Obviously, CVS, they're a machine here, and we know that they're going to do a good job as well. So CVS.com to make the appointment for that. If you want to do Publix, it's publix.com/COVID vaccine. Their next window will be Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. and then walmart.com/COVID vaccine. So the retail footprint is something we want to continue to expand. We've spoken with CVS. We'd like to continue to do even more CVSs throughout the state of Florida. I mentioned we are going to probably do another Walgreens, which will be really, really good. But once it gets beyond the seniors, once we get not unlimited, but a lot of J&J and some of the other vaccines, this really is the easiest way for people to go. Just make an appointment, come into your local pharmacy, do it. There won't be as much of a need for some of these mass vaccination sites. And we're still doing the same. We have 87 state-supported sites. We're doing it. We're not stopping on that. But I do think as we get into a different situation with vaccine availability, when it starts to get beyond just the senior population, doing it through these retail pharmacies, I think is going to make a lot of sense. And so we have those sites. We're continuing with our houses of worship mission. We've done dozens of churches. Many of those have been through African-American churches. We are doing the rural program, Highlands, Glades, Levy, Putnam, Dixie, and Gilchrist. If you look at the lowest coverage rates for seniors in the state, it's mostly those rural counties. So the good news is if you get the vaccine where it needs to go and you can get people willing to take the shots, you can get that coverage rate up very quickly. The smaller numbers, it makes it easier to do. So I was in Highlands last week. We surged some more vaccine to Highlands County. I think you'll start to see them really tick up over the next few days, which would be really, really exciting. We've also done events at 27 senior communities, including I was in Ocala at On Top of the World. We did thousands of seniors there, really, really successful. And we're continuing with our homebound senior program. We've been in Southwest Florida and throughout the state doing that. So we're excited about what's happening. We think that this is something that's really, really good. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine, we are using it. We have 175,000 that arrived at the end of last week. It's going to have to last us all through this week, and we're not anticipating getting any additional J&J until next week at the earliest, but that's fine. We're going to put it in the pipeline. We may even do one of the senior communities with the J&J to try to ascertain what the demand is like for that. I think a lot of the law enforcement and other folks have liked the Johnson & Johnson because it's one shot and then you're done. But bottom line is we're getting more and more tools at our disposal, and we just want to keep it. If you look, the numbers for COVID nationwide have gone down dramatically. In Florida, because we've done seniors first, I think what we've seen is the numbers have gone down, but the numbers among seniors have gone down a little quicker. And we're hoping that that is because we're starting to see some effects of having the vaccinations for senior citizens. So if you go back 2 months and saw what percentage of cases on a given day were seniors in Florida, it was, I think, about 18%. Now it's typically less than that. It's typically 12, 13, 14%. So again, even though the cases are going down, the percentage of seniors has gone down even more. So we think that that's something that's very, very positive, and we want to continue running through the tape, and every senior that wants a shot gets a shot. I think we're seeing once you get 2/3 of a senior in a given area, you do start to see it slow down a little bit. In terms of the demand, and that's fine. And there's not going to be any mandates on it. But I think as we get Lee kind of up where Collier is in the 60s, I think you'll start to see a little bit more softening of the demand. And I think that that'll be pretty much true statewide. So all in all, we're getting a lot done. We want to continue with the momentum, and we want to thank CVS for the partnership because they've really done well so far in terms of what they've done throughout the state. And I think this will be great for people in Southwest Florida as well throughout the rest of the state. Dave.
Governor, while you're here in Lehigh, in some places among certain cities getting the COVID vaccine, are you giving any preferential treatment to the West?
No, of course not. I mean, you look, we have almost 3 million seniors. You look, it's gone throughout the entire state. We've actually set up sites when we've had a needs arise, place like Pahokee. We set up a site there, and we're doing folks there. That's in Palm Beach County. We started doing the churches, mostly African-American churches, at the beginning of January. So there's places in Southwest Florida who didn't get it, and you had those churches doing it. So I think we're doing a good job of really using all the avenues that we can. And of course, I mean, a pharmacy like this, they're going to sign up anyone that's 65, they're going to sign them up. And I think that that's the right way to do it. It's the age that matters. Black, right, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat, that doesn't matter. If you're 65 and up, we want to get you the shot. Yes, ma'am.
Governor Desantis, lots of folks in Southwest Florida frustrated. They don't know where they are on that statewide registration system. They see those FEMA sites in other parts of the state. So to those folks that we hear from, what say you?
Well, this is a great opportunity for CVS. So if they go on to CVS.com, if they go on the Publix website tomorrow morning, these retail pharmacies, we have great coverage in Southwest Florida. It's a great opportunity for them to be able to go and do it. The FEMA sites were not chosen by the state. Those are picked by the federal government in those areas, and that's fine. It's additional vaccine. None of that was our vaccine. Those are additional vaccines that the federal government brought. But we think that this CVS and some of these are very, very significant. And so if you're on a wait list for one, it doesn't mean you can't sign up for others. And if there's a retail availability, by all means, do that. We have sent more vaccine, and we've done across this whole coast. If you look from Manatee down here, actually to Collier, we've seen numbers really go up because I think Southwest Florida was lagging for whatever reason to start, and we've worked really hard to improve those numbers.
And sir, just to follow up on the FEMA sites, if I could ask you, some reports today coming out of South Florida say that anyone showing up to those sites is getting a vaccine regardless of requirements. Do you know what's going on there? So
that's the federal government running that. I mean, what I would say is we want elderly people to get vaccinated. If you are, now we're also doing 50 and up law enforcement. We've done a lot of those already, 50 and up folks in education and some of that. But at the end of the day, if you look at this, if you're under 50 years old and you don't have a comorbidity, you're at a very low risk. And I would just say that vaccine would probably be better off for our elderly people at this point. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Governor. Morgan Reiner with Link News. What was your reaction when you heard that Publix is going to prioritize teachers and pretty much everyone else in the school system over seniors? Did Publix consult you before that decision?
I'm not sure that that's true. I think what happened was the HHS issued a dictate for people participating in the federal pharmacy program that you do anybody employed by a school. And so I think since they're a recipient of vaccine through that program, they're implementing it. I do not think that that is preferential over the seniors. And as I've said publicly, to have a 23-year-old employee of any school or anything to try to say that that person is at higher risk than someone that's 75, that's just not factually true. So we really want to focus on elderly people. I think that makes the most sense. But that wasn't a decision by CVS, Publix, or any of the pharmacies. That was dictated to them by Health and Human Services. And look, the reason why we did seniors first in the age-based approach is because 83% of the COVID-related mortality is people that are 65 and older. And not only that, if you look at people that are, say, 58, there's a much higher mortality there than somebody who's 28. As you get younger, the disease just gets less severe for whatever reason. So we're just trying to do that because we think if you don't have vaccine for everyone yet, giving it to elderly or vulnerable people is the best way to save lives. So that's what we're doing. But I don't think it was about consulting us. I think they were ordered to open it up to those folks based on what the federal government dictated. And again, it's not that we don't want anyone to get it. It's just how do you prioritize limited supply? And we've chosen to prioritize seniors first. I think that you're seeing the benefits of that with the hospitalization decline, the case decline with seniors. And so I think that there's a lot of potentially really positive indicators about it. So that's just what it is. But that's the genesis of it was that HHS order.
Governor, real quick, there was a report today that people organizing the vaccine common holiday in Lakewood Ranch were talking about how it might benefit you politically. So what do you say to
No, that's nonsense. So if you look at Manatee at the time, they were one of the worst states worst counties in the state for senior coverage. They were like 20-some%. I had some counties that were 50% at that. This is just a few weeks ago. So we said, where can we go to make an impact? So we did a senior pod at Lakewood Ranch, which was very successful. Thousands of seniors got it. Then we expanded the retail footprint in Manatee, which also helped. And then we did another pod, I think a week or two later. So now if you look at Manatee's coverage, they're well over 50%. So the first 2 months of vaccine availability, they were in the 20s. And then about 3 weeks later, they're over in the 50s. So what we did worked in Manatee. We're not done in Manatee, but that's what it was about. When you have counties that are lagging behind, we want to try to be able to bring extra vaccine there. It was a successful mission. It had a lot of success. The seniors liked it. And at the end of the day, they needed to get those coverage rates up about seniors. And so I think it's a mistake to try to demonize certain seniors. I think there's some elements of particularly, the partisan corporate media who doesn't want people being vaccinated who disagree with them politically. That's insane. If you look, the first people we vaccinated, seniors, were in Broward County at the nursing home. The first pod that we did for seniors was in Kings Point down in Delray Beach. And then we did Century City, Century Village, and all those places in Broward and Palm Beach because there was a lot of seniors there and we needed the coverage. So I think it's been the right thing to do. I think the numbers have borne it out. It's been very, very effective. And we're going to continue to go where seniors are until we get the coverage where we need to be across the state. We're almost every county, non-rural county, is at 50% more seniors. We have a couple more that we've got to get up there, but we've made a lot of strides over the last few weeks, and we're going to keep doing that.
The nurse practitioners are asking if you'll give any consideration to them filling out the form to get people that are 60 vaccinated.
We're considering it. I think the issue is we're already hearing some reports of, doctors, I'm just going to sign it for everybody. And, we really believe that there's a method to this. If you have a condition that makes you especially vulnerable to COVID, we said from the very beginning, hospitals absolutely can do that regardless of age. And some of them they were going to their cancer wards, they were doing this and vaccinating a lot of people. And we want that. But what we don't want it to be is something to say, okay, well, I'll just sign it because I believe everyone should be vaccinated right now. Yeah, I do too, but we don't have enough of the vaccine, even though we are getting a lot more. So I would just say, we'll look at it. We want to see how it's worked out so far. So we had always had comorbidities, was always available for vaccination, but we just had it done through the hospital since they got the initial vaccine supply. As we started doing that, some people said, well, look, can I just go to my doctor and get it? And we said, fine. So we did that expansion, and I think it's worked okay, but we want to just get, maybe get a little bit more intelligence about how it's worked and then make the decision from there. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you.